21st Precinct, Sergeant Klein. Well, who got bitten? Owl? 4. Where's the dog?
You are in the muster room at the 21st
there?
Precinct, the nerve center. A call is coming through. You will follow the action taken pursuant to that call from this minute until the final report is written in the 124 room at the 21st Precinct.
All right. You just wait right there in the emergency room. Yes, right there. I'll have an officer come over. Yes. Right away.
21st Precinct. It's just lines on a map of the city of New York. Most of the 173,000 people wedged into the 9/10 of a square mile between Fifth Avenue and the East River wouldn't know if you asked them if they lived or worked in the 21st. Whether they know it or not, the security of their homes, their persons, and their property is the job of the men of the 21st Precinct.
21st Precinct, 160 patrolmen, 11 sergeants, and 4 lieutenants, of whom I'm the boss. My name is Kennelly, Frank Kennelly. I'm captain in command of the 21st. It was 3:55 p.m. when I came into the precinct house for my night tour, which would keep me on the job until 8 the following morning. As I signed the blotter, Sergeant Burns, who was filling in as desk officer, told me that acting superintendent of buildings of the department was in the house making a routine inspection. After I turned out the platoon, I went upstairs and found the acting superintendent of buildings on the 3rd floor. I called his attention to the cracked plaster in the hall ceiling on that floor and to the fact that during the last winter the radiators failed to heat the floor comfortably. On the way down, I showed him the worn condition of the stairs from the 2nd floor to the back room, and as we came out into the muster room, I told him about the plumbing difficulties in the cells.
Well, thanks, Captain.
Do you have any idea when these repairs will be made?
Well, there's a lot of work to do, Captain. There's nearly 100 buildings in the department, and most of them need work, lots of work.
Oh, yes, I understand that, but some need attention sooner than others, don't you think?
Oh, yes, some do. That's why I'm making the inspection.
Well, this muster room, for instance, it hasn't been painted since 1941. Did you realize that?
Captain, you know I'd like to do everything, and I'd like to do it right away, but there's been only so much money appropriated. Well, it's been a pleasure, Captain. Sign the blotter and get on my way. A little bit behind schedule. I still have to visit the 23rd this afternoon.
Where were you? Mr. Balney wants to sign the blotter, Sergeant Burns. Step on around the back of the desk, Mr. Balney.
Right over here, Mr. Balney. Well, thank you, Captain.
That one's got whiskers. I used to use it myself. Bring it on time.
What's doing, Sergeant?
Oh, nothing much, Captain, except that young fellow over there is waiting to see you.
Who is he, do you know?
He says his name is Weald, Harold Weald. Said it was personal. I told him you were busy. He said he'd wait. He wouldn't tell either me or Sergeant Burns what was on his mind. Excuse me, Captain.
Yeah, go ahead.
21st Precinct, Sergeant Klein. Well, thanks for all your courtesies, Captain. I'll try to get something done, I promise you that.
Oh, you what, ma'am?
Absolutely necessary, Mr. Balney, that we get sufficient heat up on the 3rd floor. No one can work up there.
Listen, madam.
Well, it's a long time until winter.
Please, madam.
Yes, it was a long time since last winter, too. That's when I reported.
Madam.
Now, you have my word, Captain. There'll be someone here within 2 weeks.
That's a civil action, madam. If he owes you money, we can't collect it. You better see your lawyer.
I'll talk to that fellow that's waiting, Sergeant. Yes, sir.
If you can't afford a lawyer, go to the Legal Aid Society. The Legal Aid Society.
Mr. Weald?
Yes, that's right.
Captain Connolly? Kennelly. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that's all right. Well, what can I do for you?
Well, listen, Captain, I'm sorry to bother you, but I got an awful problem. It's my kid.
Well, what's the trouble?
Well, she got bit by a dog.
When was this?
Friday morning.
Where?
In the playground there, 62nd Street, York Avenue.
Mm-hmm. How old is she?
4. She's 4.
Excuse me, Captain.
Yes?
Division captain is calling in for you.
Oh, all right. Thanks, Sergeant. I'll take it in my office.
Yes, sir.
Come in, Mr. Weald.
Yeah, thanks. My mother takes her to the playground almost every day.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Have a seat there.
I didn't think there was anything to it.
Excuse me a minute.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Captain Kennelly. Hello, Denny. Oh, just fine. When? Well, just a second. Let me look at my chart. Yeah, I'm working Monday. Where? All right, I'll be there. Okay, so long. How'd you happen to get bitten, Mr. Weald?
Well, I wasn't there personally. I was working.
Mm-hmm. What do you do?
Me, I'm a driver for the Ace Taxis. I should be on the job now, but I thought I'd better take off the afternoon and get this straightened out. Yeah?
How bad was the bite?
Well, bad enough, I guess. He got her in the thigh, you know. He really dug in.
Did she get medical treatment?
Oh, yeah. My wife said the lady with the dog was very nice. Janet, that's my wife, she got kind of excited at first, but doctor fixed it up, said nothing serious. So I forgot the whole thing, you know, until I got a call from my wife this afternoon.
Uh-huh. What happened then?
Well, my wife was all excited. She called my dispatcher, left word for me to call her. When I did, she said somebody had been around from the Board of Health. Told her they couldn't get hold of the lady with the dog, and if they didn't by tomorrow morning, she'd have to bring the kid down for rabies shots. There's 22 shots. It takes 22 days.
Well, where does the woman with the dog live? In this precinct?
I don't know whether it's in this precinct. It's Mrs. Charles Whitney, 190 Sutton Place North.
That's in this precinct, yes.
So I took a walk over there before. It's a big apartment house, very expensive. I started to go in. The doorman asked me who I wanted, so I told him the whole story. Mm-hmm. He buzzed up to the apartment. There wasn't any answer. He told me a policeman had been around 2 or 3 times today and the day before. Policeman couldn't find anybody there either. Is he from here, that policeman?
Yes, that's right. In dog bite cases, there's a 480V notice to be served on the owner. Mm-hmm. A notice to deliver the dog to the ASPCA for observation.
Well, anyway, I got to talking to the doorman, and he said he thought sure somebody was home because the elevator man heard the dog barking in the apartment when he went up there on the floor for something else this afternoon.
Oh, is that so?
Well, I'm only going by what the doorman said the elevator man said. Now, look, the lady was very nice, but I don't want my kid to go through any 22 shots. What's more important, the dog or the kid?
What do you think, Mr. Wheel?
Well, I know what I think. The important thing is what you think. That Mrs. Whitney, her husband, is a big-shot judge, the doorman told me.
You sit here, Mr. Wheel.
Well, I'll sit here, but is that going to get me action? That's what I want, action.
That's what you're going to get. I'll be right back. Sergeant Burns.
Yes, Captain?
What are you doing about a 480V on the dog bite case?
All right. Is that this one on Sutton Place North, Captain?
Yes, that's the one. What are you doing about it?
Well, it's still hanging, Captain. Lieutenant Snyder said he had a man go by there 3 times during the day tour. There's nobody home.
Well, did they go upstairs and see?
I don't know about that, Captain. He just said it was still hanging. They haven't been able to serve it.
I gave it to Singleton and told him to try as soon as he got over there. You know who that is? That's Judge Charles Whitney.
Yes, I know. Now, listen, the father of the child the dog bit is in my office. He's been told to bring the child down to start a series of 22 rabies injections beginning tomorrow morning, unless that dog is delivered today.
There doesn't seem to be anybody home, Captain.
Well, the father says the doorman told him there was somebody home. Now, get on it.
Yes, sir.
I went back into my office and told Mr. Weald, the father of the dog bite victim, that we would make a further effort to serve the 480V notice on the owner of the dog. I advised him to return to his home and promised that we would notify him later concerning any results we obtained. Patrolman Singleton rang in and reported that he again went to 190 Sutton Place North and attempted to reach the occupants of the Whitney apartment by the house phone. There was no answer. He left a copy of the notice with the doorman. He was instructed to go upstairs and knock on the door. In the meantime, I read and signed such reports as had accumulated since I was last on duty and placed them in the box to be sent by messenger to division headquarters. At 10 minutes to 5, I went back out into the muster room and walked over to the desk.
He's trying to reach the judge at his office, Captain.
Good. Sergeant Klein, did Singleton ring in again?
No, sir, not yet.
Judge Charles Whitney's office, please. I thought this might be the quickest way to get some information, Captain.
Well, it might be, yes.
Hello? This is Sergeant Burns at the 21st Precinct. Is Judge Whitney there, please? Oh, is he? Oh, I see. Well, when? Well, thank you very much. Oh, did Mrs. Whitney go with him? Yes, I see. Well, thank you very much. He's out of town, Captain.
Yeah?
He went to Boston for the American Bar Association convention. Secretary expects him back tonight. He's flying in.
Did Mrs. Whitney go with him?
No, sir, not that the secretary knows of. As far as the secretary knows, Mrs. Whitney's at home.
I see. Look up the telephone number of their apartment and call over there.
Yes.
21st Precinct, Sergeant Klein.
Their phone might not be listed, though.
Yes, Singleton. What'd you find out?
Is that Singleton, Sergeant?
Hold on. Yes, sir, it's Singleton.
All right, let me talk to him.
Take it right there, Captain. Hold on, Singleton.
This is Captain Kennelly.
Yes, sir.
Did you serve that notice?
No, sir.
Well, did you go up to the floor?
Yes, sir.
What happened?
Well, I knocked on the door, Captain. There wasn't any answer. Then I heard that dog bark inside. I knocked again. Finally, she came and talked to me through the door.
Who came?
Mrs. Whitney, Captain.
Oh, wouldn't she open the door?
No, sir. I told her I had the notice to serve on her to deliver the dog for observation. She said she wouldn't give up the dog. She wouldn't open the door.
Did you explain to her that the Department of Health just has to examine the dog, that they won't molest or mistreat the animal?
Yes, sir, but she refused to open the door.
Where are you calling from now?
The lobby of the apartment building.
All right. You stay there. I'll be right over.
Yes, sir.
Sergeant.
Yes, sir?
Put out a call for a car to come by the house for me.
Yes, sir, Captain.
She's there, huh, Captain?
She's there, yes. So's the dog. She wouldn't open the door.
CB, is this
Well, did she say why she wouldn't, Captain?
No, that's what I'm going over to find out.
What if she still refuses?
Okay.
You get a warrant to go in and get the dog.
That won't look very nice. Cops break down judge's door. Some headline.
Is this better? 4-year-old girl takes 22 anti-rabies injections. No headline.
You are listening to 21st Precinct, a factual account of the way police work in the world's largest city.
When you apply...
And now back to 21st Precinct and Captain Frank Kennelly.
The disease of rabies is almost extinct. This is due almost entirely to the cooperation between police and public health authorities and the strict enforcement of the laws relating to dog bite cases. These laws call for the compulsory observation of dogs and other animals who are carriers of the disease after they have bitten, and for compulsory treatment of human victims bitten by an animal that has escaped. The fact that the disease is now rare does not lessen the strictness of enforcement. The idea is to keep it rare. At 5:05 p.m., the car came by the station house and drove me to 190 Sutton Place North, a new apartment building in a high-rent classification. As we drove up, I saw Patrolman Singleton on the sidewalk in front of the building. A man was standing there talking with him. All right, wait for me here.
Hello, Captain.
Singleton?
Captain, this is Mr. Tedburn. He's the super of the building. The resident manager.
Mr. Tedburn?
How do you do?
You've been waiting down here since you rang in, Singleton?
Yes, sir. I really don't see what's all the excitement, Captain.
Don't you?
The Whitneys are respectable people. He's an important judge. To have policemen running through the halls over something like this, it's ridiculous.
Mr. Tedburn, I've just been talking to the father of the girl who was bitten by that dog. If that dog isn't delivered for observation, that 4-year-old girl will have to start a series of 22 injections. Is that ridiculous?
Well, I just want to save embarrassment is all.
There's no embarrassment on our account. If she'd accept service with the notice, everything would be very quiet and simple. What kind of dog is it, Singleton?
Well, the doorman told me a boxer, Captain. That is right, a boxer.
Big fellow, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go up.
Yes, sir. Do you mind if I come along also?
I'd be glad to have you, Mr. Tedburn. You can see that we don't embarrass anyone. The doorman held the door open for us, and we walked into the foyer of the building. It was decorated in black and white. On the elevator, Singleton directed the operator to take us to the 14th floor. When we got off, Mr. Tedburn led the way to apartment 14B. No one was in the hall. Either the neighbors on the floor didn't know what was going on, or they didn't care.
This is it. Shall I ring, Captain?
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. There it is.
Try again.
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Whitney, we're police officers. We want to talk to you.
It is a wonder the neighbors haven't complained about that dog. He certainly does raise the roof, doesn't he?
Mrs. Whitney!
You know, Captain, I'm beginning to more and more see this thing from your point of view.
Are you?
Under these circumstances, I think I have a right to use my passkey. She's got on the door chain.
Yes, quiet.
There she is.
Yes.